Breastfeeding prophylaxis against communicable diseases and a key child survival strategy. Breastfeeding and women's health. The women who breastfeeds also enjoys various benefits as a consequence. Immediately post parturition parturition, the oxytocin released during the breastfeeding helps to contract the uterus and reduce the incidence of parturium hemorrhage and later anemia. Exclusive breastfeeding offers 98% of protection against getting pregnant during the first 6 months. This is called the lactational amenorrhea method LAM, and universally this is still the most effective form of contraception available to every lactating woman, unlike the more costly and less available contraceptive pills and intrauterine devices. Breastfeeding reduces the risk of breast and ovarian cancers in mothers. A multi-center study in the USA found that the relative risk of breast cancer among premenopausal menopausal women decreased as the duration of lactation increased. A multinational study from Australia, Chile, China, Mexico, the Philippines, and Thailand found that the relative risk of ovarian cancer decreased as the duration of lactation increased. Breastfeeding confers untold social benefits to the infant mother diet. This instinctive and innate activity at birth bonds the mother and child, which has a lifelong loving and therapeutic effect. Mothers who breastfeed their babies are less likely to abuse or abandon their babies, or social phenomenon which unfortunately is on the climb in recent years. The economics of breastfeeding. The family, community, and nation similarly benefit from the breastfeeding culture. They enjoy better health nutritionally and emotionally. It is an economic plus since breastfeeding costs less than artificial feedings. In some less developed countries, milk powders can eat up to 50% to the family budget. Since breastfed babies are relatively healthier, the babies list is spent on healthcare costs, which includes clinic consultations, medicines, laboratory tests, and hospitalizations. It is therefore the most cost-effective child health strategy. Factors contributing to the decline of breastfeeding. Despite the numerous benefits of breastfeeding, the status breastfeeding worldwide still leaves much to be desired. This due to a complex interaction of several phenomena. This includes the availability and aggressive marketing of a substitute of um, erroneous belief that a milk substitute is modern and healthier. The widespread belief that breastfeeding and working is uncompatible, unsympathetic. Um, Employers towards employers choice to breastfeed. The absence of extended families to assist new parents to adjust, the lack of commitment, skills, and knowledge of nursing and medical professionals in promoting breastfeeding, and a hospital environment whose policies and procedures inhibit the initiation and maintenance of successful lactation. The resurrection of breastfeeding culture. In 1939, Cicely Williams wrote Milk and Murder and proclaimed that misguided propaganda on infant feeding should be punished as the most criminal from the sedition, and that those deaths should be regarded as murder. Dr. Gilaf coined the term commerciogenic malnutrition in 1968 to describe the industry marketing practice in infant health. The World Health Assembly, during its 24th meeting in 1974, recommended strongly the encouragement of breastfeeding as the ideal feeding in order to promote harmonious physical and mental development of children. The International Code of Marketing for Breastfeeding Substitute was introduced in 1981 to monitor the marketing practices and abuse of the malnutritional milk industries. The World Health Assembly called upon all member states to translate the code into national legislation and regulation to give the code some teeth. In 1989, the Convention on the Rights of Child made it the legal obligation of nations to provide mothers and families with the knowledge and support needed for breastfeeding. And in Florence, Italy, the following year, the Innocenti Declaration in the protection, promotion, and support of breastfeeding called on all governments to act and create an environment enabling all women to practice exclusive breastfeeding from birth to 4 to 6 months and to continue breastfeeding with adequate complementary foods up to 2 years. These powerful international declarations, supported at the highest levels of government, attracted the world's attention to humanity's shared responsibility for the survival, protection, and development of our children. Only a global effort could empower women once again to give their babies and healthy start they deserve, a world that allows children to survive and thrive, a world that is baby friendly. And since more and more babies start their lives in hospital, the baby friendly hospital initiative was mooted. A baby friendly hospital focuses on the needs of the newborns and empowers mothers to invest their own natural gifts in their children's health. In practical terms, a baby friendly hospital will encourage and help women to breastfeed their babies by applying each of the 10 steps to successful breastfeeding, developed by UNICEF and World Health Organization. This was a global effort to give babies the best possible start in life. Since the early 1990s, there has been a resurrection in the numbers of breastfeeding infants universally um, coincide, coinciding with the various collaborative and international efforts to protect, promote, and support breastfeeding. Conclusion: we are guilty of many errors and many faults, but our worst crime is abandoning the children, neglecting the foundation of life. Many of the things we need can wait. The child cannot. Right now is the time his bones are being formed, his blood is being made, and his sins are being developed. To him we cannot answer tomorrow. His name is today. Gabriel Mistral.